Thank you for allowing me to meditate with you.
This is normally done in private, Counselor, but it is an honor to teach Vulcan techniques to one so willing.
These sessions, they're the only times that Vulcans pay attention to their emotions?
We find it salutary to have an interval during which we ask ourselves the question no other Vulcan may. How do you feel?
When this mission is over, I will miss these times with you.
And I with you. Doctor, I believe you may benefit from further teaching with masters on Vulcan.
Perhaps you could as well. There's a discipline called the Dalhut Nar, isn't there? To help one accept the wisdom of vestigial emotions.
There is also the Kolinar, the purging of all remaining emotions. There is no chance of me undertaking the former, nor the latter. I am rarely disposed to discuss matters of a private nature. But our relationship is special. I have served aboard their starship for 16 years, under 2 captains. I would not admit this in front of Dr. McCoy, but such a lengthy association with men and women from Earth has taught me to value my maternal birthright in a way I never could had I remained on Vulcan.
Captain's log, stardate 6988.4. The Enterprise is scheduled to return to Earth shortly. I always intended to bring her back in one piece, but the triumph is bittersweet. The recent loss of our sister ship still gnaws at me. Whatever it was that caused the Hood's crew to lose life support, killing all 430 men and women aboard, is Kirk here.
Priority incoming message from the Chief of Starfleet Operations.
I'll take it down here, Lieutenant. Admiral Thesp?
Captain, Priority 1. We're diverting you to Aldebaran.
Admiral, considering the ships we've lost in that system recently, do you think that's wise?
Wise or not, it's necessary. The Yorktown and Republic were severely damaged during their investigation into the Hood's loss. And shortly afterwards, the Federation colony on Aldebaran 3 went completely silent.
How could an entire Federation colony suddenly go silent?
Starfleet has a top-secret laboratory on that world. The supply vessel we sent to investigate, the SS Halifax, never returned. Before we lost contact, the Halifax reported significant anti-proton residue on the planet's surface. I think you know what that means.
Romulans. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Captain, readings indicate the colony has been destroyed.
Romulan plasma weapon?
Judging by the damage, it appears the central reactor has suffered a containment failure.
That's unusual.
It's impossible. I installed the safeguards myself 5 years ago.
Perhaps some kind of sabotage.
At least the Pandora Science Lab's intact, but it's underground, and it generates a particle scattering field. I'll have to put you down outside.
Just put us down in one piece, Scotty.
Aye, sir.
Energize.
Aye.
The disruption field is obstructing my readings. I am detecting 2 life forms, large enough to be humanoid.
I suppose they left a key under a rock somewhere.
I can attempt to access the lift using standard Federation prefixes.
Automated defenses!
We must maintain the barrage. The drone cannot fire through its own shields.
Spock, could the turret's anti-grav beam be creating a gap at the bottom of its deflector screen?
Highly possible.
Let's find out. Fascinating.
You're Vulcan. You're Vulcan.
Affirmative.
When a simple yes would do, Vulcan for sure. Forgive the attack. The drone's sensors thought you're another Romulan invader. The biosigns are almost identical. You're in charge?
Captain James T. Kirk, Federation Starship Enterprise.
T for Tiberius.
Who are you? What happened here?
You don't know? It was your starship that first pierced the barrier around our galaxy 5 years ago. An energy field that enhances humans with high ESP quotients, uplifts them. Since then, certain Starfleet officials have been assembling us, testing us, experimenting. 25 in total.
It appears you, too, have journeyed through the barrier yourself.
A trial run.
Trial for what?
The ultimate last resort.
Protection against invasion.
In the event the Federation is ever invaded by a superior force, we were to fly through the galactic barrier.
Granting you superior powers. Effectively weaponizing you.
The Federation isn't in the business of weaponizing its citizens.
You should better familiarize yourself with the Starfleet Charter. Article 14, Section 31. Captain, absolute power does not corrupt absolutely. It corrupts selectively. As you know from experience. Aboard your ship, one uplifted Esper became a megalomaniac, while the other retained humanity.
And which are you?
I follow Sastar Pohan.
A human spiritual movement that follows the pacifist teachings of Serac and Tumord of Vulcan.
Psychologically unsuitable espers were excluded from this project.
About my original question. What happened here?
A cloaked vessel arrived. They overwhelmed the lab, destroyed the ship sent here to investigate.
The Halifax.
The Romulans vaporized our scientists and kidnapped the espers.
What about you?
I used my powers to suspend my life signs. I played dead.
What do Romulans want with a bunch of espers?
I believe I can surmise the answer, Lieutenant. Despite my advanced ESP rating, my experiences with the barrier failed to uplift me. I suspect Vulcan physiology renders us immune to the psionic effects. And if Vulcans cannot be uplifted,
And neither can Romulans. They want to use the kidnapped espers to form an attack force.
But not against us, Captain. Against the Romulan Praetor. They oppose his termination of the Klingon alliance.
Romulan politics don't concern me. Getting my people back does. What's your name?
Lana.
You'll be safe with us, Lana.
Captain, a word. If you recall, it was incredibly dangerous to have Mitchell aboard the Enterprise after his powers had multiplied. If we leave Lana here, she will remain as we intended him to be, isolated, where she can do no harm.
You heard her, Spock. She's a pacifist. Besides, if we're going to pursue a Romulan ship full of espers that have been turned, I want us to have one of our own.
A most logical position.
You sound surprised.
Captain, there is the matter of the other life form I detected.
That would be me, Commander.
Drop your weapon!
Do you feel confident that you can shoot me before I kill your captain? Disarm, now.
Hold your position, Lieutenant.
Surrender is not the Romulan way, Captain. Fire now, and this disruptor will detonate. I have no quarrel with you. Save yourselves. But the mutant stays with me.
Given that particular model of firearm, I believe we have approximately 38 seconds until a force chamber overload.
We will not abandon a Federation citizen.
It seems you have little choice.
Kirk to Enterprise.
Captain, we cannot leave him here to die.
Emergency. 5 to beam out. Now! Sulu has detected the Romulan kidnappers on long-range sensors. We are on an intercept course.
Excellent.
Admiral, I won't lie. They have a head start. A good one. They'll cross into the neutral zone before we can catch them.
A week before my retirement. Captain, I'm ordering you to pursue those Karskat Romulans into the zone, all the way to the home worlds if you have to. Just get the espers back. No matter what. Starfleet out.
Kirk to bridge.
Spock here.
Set a course for the Romulan neutral zone. Maximum warp.
Acknowledged.
Mr. Spock?
You heard the order, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Uhura, Transmit this encrypted message on the following subspace frequency.
Sir, that carrier wave's only...
Please proceed. Direct any response to my quarters.
Perfect.
I try to take the stairs instead of levitating whenever I can. Keep in shape. Captain.
We're in hot pursuit. We'll get your friends back.
The Romulan?
He's in our brig. Lana, why was he still there on Aldebaran 3?
I think he's a Praetorian spy. Must have infiltrated the dissidents. He fled to the hills after they discovered him. We were the only people at the lab for weeks. Our paths crossed frequently.
Do you trust him?
About as far as I can throw him.
Which, in your case, I'd wager is pretty far. Why didn't you use your abilities to subdue him?
He has tremendous innate powers. And as I told you, Captain, I am a strict pacifist. I do not utilize my abilities to harm others unless they pose a direct threat.
Bones, speaking of direct threats, we'll be engaging the Romulan ship soon. I hope I don't have to call on you, but...
If I had a credit for every time you said that. I have the chem lab synthesizing hyaronolin, best against radiation burns.
Bridge to Captain.
Kirk here, go ahead, Sulu.
The Marauder's about to cross into the neutral zone.
Sound battle stations, I'm on my way. How long till the neutral zone boundary?
10 seconds.
Lieutenant?
Our order's recorded in logs, sir.
5 seconds.
Stay sharp, everyone.
Warning, treaty violation. Warning, treaty violation.
Mute that over.
Warning, treaty...
On course for Romulan space.
Keep an even hand on the tiller, monsieur.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire.
Scanning to 1/2 parsec. There's no sign of the Marauder, Captain. She could be cloaked.
I've got something on motion sensors.
Can we get a phaser lock?
No, sir, but he's out there.
See if you can boost the directional unit. We need surgical precision. Try to take out his engines without endangering the habitat mount.
Captain, a Romulan ship is decloaking off our port bow.
Shields to maximum.
Bliss class, Imperial bird of prey. I have visual.
The Marauder?
Negative.
The vessel is registered as the IRW Hawk's Talon.
Captain, we're being hailed.
Commander?
I received Mr. Spock's message requesting a parley. Yet the fact remains. The Enterprise violated interstellar law by entering Romulan space. Shall we call it war now, Captain Kirk? Or wait for an official declaration?
Contacting the Romulans? Spock? That? Romulan? On your own initiative? What were you thinking? Why didn't you ask me?
You would not have agreed.
Damn right I wouldn't have agreed. You're lucky I don't rip one of those stripes right off your sleeve.
Captain, I became aware of reports that Charvanek was granted command of a new bird of prey after she was repatriated. I am confident, once I speak with her, that she will see the wisdom of assisting us in pursuing the Romulan dissidents. She and I have a rapport.
Rapport. Bring her aboard. Spock. You have 30 minutes. hope that's enough time for your rapport. Come aboard the Enterprise. Again.
Captain.
Mr. Dickerson, please conduct the lieutenant to guest quarters.
Aye, sir.
Jolan True.
And should I greet you as your people would? Live long and prosper?
You may greet me as you wish. Human lore would suggest I offer the other cheek.
I confess, the humans did treat me well. Still, I was surprised the exchange was arranged so quickly.
Logic dictated that your return would entice your praetor to release the Tellarite merchants held on Remus.
You mean the Tellarite spies?
They would have sold the information they acquired. My terminology is apt.
Now who is being clever, Spock?
Your praetor would seem quite loyal to you. Is your loyalty to him as great? Commander, he needs your help. I need your help.
Your father negotiated the arrangement that led to my return. The House of Sarek has my gratitude. I will aid you, if I can.
Commander, I appreciate your assistance.
Spock mentioned Romulan dissidents and kidnapped humans with psionic abilities. Our intelligence sources know nothing of these marauders. In order to track them, I will need their ship's configurations, armaments.
Then we are to use an Earth expression in luck. We apprehended a Romulan commander on Aldebaran 3, an undercover member of the vessel's crew still loyal to the Praetor.
Jolan True.
I've never seen this individual before. He is certainly no Romulan commander.
Are you sure?
Transporter room, what the hell's going on?
I beamed the prisoner out of the brig, just as you ordered, sir.
Damn it, Chief, I gave no such order.
Captain, I know my fleet as well as you know yours. That man was an imposter.
An imposter who's now on the loose.
Captain, I swear I received orders to transport the prisoner. I don't know where.
Sir, the targeting scanner's memory logs have been erased. But the imposter could not have traveled far. Our shields have been at full power since Commander Charvanek beamed aboard.
Then, he's still on the Enterprise.
Dickerson, I need security teams on all decks.
Intruder alert. Main engineering.
Looks like we found our man.
Intruder alert. Main engineering.
Hey, you!
The maids are going offline.
Hold your fire! He's releasing ectoplasma!
Hand to hand.
Gotcha, you lovely. Clear!
The nerve pinch was as you described. Chauvinik will be incapacitated for at least 3 hours.
We don't have that kind of time, Doctor. Her second in command wants her returned immediately.
They are better equipped to treat her than we are.
Burke, prepare the commander for transport. What's his status?
I'm keeping him under. Pulse 200, blood pressure 20/10. Romulan or Vulcan, they read the same.
Vulcan?
Pressure hold he administered.
Spock's Vulcan death grip.
Bingo. I've been doing some digging. The Aldebaran colony's last census listed one Vulcan, a male anthropologist named Sentek. There's more, Jim. Federation records show that he's married to our friend Lana, and his ESP rating is through the roof. He's got natural psionic abilities way beyond normal, even for a Vulcan.
If his powers are already so strong, why go to an Esper lab?
Maybe to find a mate.
A human Esper, one that could be uplifted by the barrier, become his equal.
And one who's already embraced Vulcan philosophy.
Want to bet Lana's trip into the barrier wasn't authorized by Starfleet?
To see all the scientists killed. To have everyone like you taken prisoner. It must have been very difficult.
Colleagues, neighbors, friends. Awful.
It's important to allow yourself time to grieve, Lana. I'd like to try and help if I can.
That was a brilliant performance. We know about you and Sentek. Why don't you try the truth this time?
Captain, she's been through a terrible ordeal.
She scripted the ordeal, Counselor. Didn't you, Lana? You and your husband. He wasn't going to commit suicide with that disruptor overload at all. He was trying to blow up the lab entrance so we couldn't find out what really happened.
Human evolution has stalled, Captain. A typical man of 2270, like you, is no different physically from a Cro-Magnon of 100,000 years ago. But we are superior.
I thought you said absolute power only corrupts selectively.
And selection, whether natural or artificial, is the engine of evolution. Your kind should embrace your fate. Instead, you try to control us, use us.
Chief.
Why do you suppose the Preservers erected a barrier around our galaxy?
Why? Hell, probably to contain us. To keep violence from spilling into the universe.
No. It was so that naturally superior individuals could be uplifted once we had the technology to venture into the stars.
You don't know what gods think.
Yes, I do.
Still no sign of the Marauder. He was there, and then he wasn't.
Sub-Commander?
Subspace scan completed. We find no evidence of a cloaked vessel, Enterprise.
The sensor logs you requested. Our trace of the Romulan kidnappers disappeared after Sentek lost consciousness and Lana was put in the brig.
So that's why I tried to disable the power grid, to prevent us from realizing the ship was an illusion.
So it would seem.
Mr. Palmer, run a level 3 diagnostic on our long-range sensors. Let's see how badly they've been compromised.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Sulu, if there is no Romulan marauder, then the Enterprise entered our space without provocation. Starfleet is clearly the aggressor.
Sub-Commander, that's for diplomats to decide. For now,
you will stand down and surrender to the Romulan Star Empire.
Sir, the bird of prey is charging its plasma weapon.
Captain Kirk to the bridge. Go ahead, Tal. Open fire. And tell your Praetor why you destroyed a Federation starship instead of capturing it.
Your ship's mission is about to end. It is scheduled to return to Earth, and our sources inform us only 3 other ships of its class remain in service. We have no interest in obsolete technology.
Obsolete?
A shame. Unlike you, Lieutenant, your Mr. Spock had an agreeable cunning. May his Katra find its way to Vortavor.
Evasive maneuvers! Brace for impact!
Romulan weapon reaching full charge in 3, 2, 1.
Why haven't you fired?
Sub-Commander, I have.
Stand aside.
Scans show their plasma torpedo fully charged and operational.
Why didn't they fire?
I'm betting they think they did.
Sub-Commander! Power down our weapons immediately!
Sir, you have recovered sufficiently to return to duty?
The second time you've had to relinquish command back to me, isn't it?
Your glory is mine, Commander.
Tal, we will assist the Enterprise in its mission. Is that understood?
Commander, we have them here in Romulan space.
I have no intention of permitting human espers nor Romulan dissidents to attack the Praetor, or worse. I suspect there is a greater plan here. A plan that may jeopardize both the Federation and our Star Empire.
Your loyalty to the Praetor is admirable.
As I assume is yours.
Absolutely, Commander.
What's our status?
Mr. Scott enhanced the force field with the ship's shield grid. Nobody's going to beam through that.
Indeed. Rather ingenious. I'd expect nothing less. Sulu says you fooled Sub-Commander Tal into thinking his weapons malfunctioned.
No need to thank me, Captain.
Just like you fooled us into thinking Romulans kidnapped the Espers. Your people stole the Halifax, didn't they? You knew Starfleet would send another ship to investigate. Sooner or later, we'd track them down. So you and Sentek stayed behind, projected that illusion of a marauding vessel to buy your compatriots the time they need to make it to the galactic barrier.
Simple humans are so easy to deceive. They can be tricked into doing almost anything.
Like shutting down their own life support?
The hood. My God, that's what happened to the hood.
Why? Lana, why?
To see if we could. There's nothing you or anyone can do now. My brethren will be uplifted by the barrier. Even the great James T. Kirk will be brought to his knees.
Captain's log supplemental. What have I done bringing an Esper mutant on board? I've been exhausted, but has my judgment been compromised? Have I put my ship at unnecessary risk? In the hopes that my senior staff can provide some insight,
I've assembled those who were present when we first crossed the barrier, what seems like an eternity ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, I direct your attention to Stardate 1312, the so-called galactic barrier, a field composed of negative energy surrounding our galaxy, effectively encasing it.
Early in the Enterprise's 5-year mission, my orders across the barrier to investigate the disappearance of an old Earth vessel some 200 years earlier.
I think we all remember what happened.
Except for those of us that weren't yet aboard.
Oh, we've read the reports, Captain. 2 crew members with high ESP ratings had their abilities altered.
Correction. Their abilities boosted exponentially.
So when the Halifax reaches that barrier, with all of those Espers on board...
Counselor, that is precisely what we must prevent. It is logical that the Espers will endeavor to enter the galactic barrier here, at the point nearest the Aldebaran system.
The Halifax is a low-warp ship. That journey would take weeks.
But it's been weeks since they stole the vessel. What if they already made it?
Lieutenant Smith, as I recall, you were holding Commander Mitchell's hand when the crossing occurred. Any insight you can provide? Anything unique you may have experienced via physical contact?
Nothing I didn't put in my report, sir.
Mr. Spock, defeating one god was hard enough, but a ship full of them.
They're not gods, Scotty. They're just humans. Even with all his power, Gary was still susceptible to human frailty. Hell, he couldn't even remember my middle name.
Precisely. An uplifted Esper's strength weakens as it is expended.
Then we must use that to our advantage. Strike first, before they grow stronger.
We're not out to defeat them, Commander. They are Federation citizens, our brothers, sisters, even if they are misguided. Consider this a rescue mission.
Captain, transmission from the USS Congo. They picked up the Halifax's ion trap.
Transfer to this computer, and tell Captain Osmi we'll be joining the chase. You heard her. Get to work.
Sir, even at maximum sustainable speed, we can't catch the Halifax before it enters the barrier.
Commander. What are your ship's warp capabilities?
Our birds of prey do not utilize what you refer to as warp power. We use other methods to travel faster than light.
Indeed. There is speculation that Romulans employ confined quantum singularities to bend space.
I cannot confirm that.
What if a traditional warp field and the fold from an artificial singularity overlapped? Background in natural sciences comes in handy when you're a helm officer.
It may be possible.
Sulu, you're a genius.
Who am I to argue with you, sir?
Work with Scotty and the Romulan engineers to enhance our velocity. Let's see how fast we can get our girl to go.
Lower your deflectors, Enterprise.
Miss Chekhov?
Shields down.
Tractor beam standing by.
Activate tractors. Extend superluminal fold.
Got to bridge. I've routed the primary tractor beam through the shuttle bay, but Captain, she's not designed to take the sort of strain for long.
You always say that, and she always does. Mr. Smith? Punch it.
Yes, sir.
Different systems redlining.
Let them redline.
Aye. We poor birds.
Well, I'll be damned.
Sir, galactic barrier dead ahead.
Signal the Hawks Talon. Full stop.
As before, sensors and deflectors yield inexplicable readings.
Charvanek to Enterprise. She's fiercely beautiful, isn't she?
Indeed she is. And deadly.
Sir, we're picking up a vessel at the barrier.
Full mag.
Identification confirmed. SS Halifax.
Ship to ship.
Hailing frequencies open.
This is Captain James Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. We are here to render aid. I understand that you have grievances, and we offer our services as go-betweens with Starfleet Command. But it is crucial that you do not enter the barrier. Please reply. Or anything?
Just silence.
There was no one aboard.
Captain, we're detecting another ship nearby. A starship.
Scanning. It is the Congo, sir. We are receiving anomalous readings.
Specify.
It would appear there are only about 24 life forms aboard.
I've tied into the Congo's bridge, Captain.
Put it on screen.
You're too late, Captain. Relinquish command, or the Enterprise will suffer the same fate as the Hood.